When Caitlin Clark was in college, a lot of her real fans treated her as if she was transcended. The media ended up running with it as well, and they started calling her a crazy historical player coming from college, and her stats were showing it. But the media only showed her scoring. Her scoring was the main part of all of these posts that, House of Highlights and ESPN were making about Caitlin Clark. Not a lot of emphasis was on her passing. So when Caitlin Clark got to the W and the shots weren't falling, people went to go run and call her a bust because, well, they thought the only great thing about her game was her scoring. But she is more than just a scorer. She's a playmaker too. She's a great scorer, but passing seems like it is her trademark. In this video, we're going to go over Caitlin Clark's record-breaking 10 assists in the All Star Game, and I want you guys to notice how easy these assists come for Caitlin. I guess the thesis of this video is Caitlin Clark could average 15 or so assists per game if she just had the right talent around her. With these players who are playing in the WNBA All Star Game and at least on the WNBA team, they were so good that they were able to capitalize on nearly all the opportunities Caitlin gave them by drawing defensive attention. Look, that is something we don't see on the Indiana Fever. So a lot of Caitlin Clark's assists are off pick and rolls where she has to thread the needle with these hard passes through defense. And we saw that a little bit in this game, but it was a whole lot less of it. It was a lot of Caitlin Clark drawing defense, her just giving the ball up, and the other players around her just able to make use of the loads of space that Caitlin Clark is able to give them. Because even though it's the WNBA All Star Game, defenses are still loading up on Caitlin Clark. If you don't believe me, we're going to go over it right now, and I'll show you exactly what I mean. Check out this first play and notice how Caitlin Clark comes off a screen and all of the defense is focused on Caitlin. It leaves Nneka Ogwumike wide open on that perimeter, and even though Breanna Stewart eventually closes out, she's a few steps back, and it gives Nneka Ogwumike the space to just go to work, hit a big time mid-range shot, and she had all of that space because of the defensive attention that Caitlin Clark draws. Caitlin Clark's gravity gives her teammates free space to cook. It's just like Steph Curry's gravity. So look, the Indiana Fever could become a dynasty just like the Golden State Warriors do if the Indiana Fever bring in players like a KD who can make use of that gravity at a very high level. Look, Nneka Ogwumike is giving an opening at the top of the key, and that's way too much space to give her. She's able to capitalize on the opportunity. Now check out this next play. Caitlin Clark is being face guarded and a whole lot of defensive attention is on her. Because of the way Team WNBA is spaced out, the paint is wide open for a split second. It allows Aaliyah Boston to cut, and even though they do end up closing out, Aaliyah Boston makes that easy layup off of that difficult pass by Caitlin Clark. I don't even know how she got it through those defenders. But Caitlin Clark is literally a needle threader. They call it needle threading. I think that's even a badge on NBA 2K. You can have the needle threading badge. It's a term we use here and there. But Caitlin Clark is literally showing you what exactly needle threading is. She is throwing that ball right through those little spaces. That is ridiculous. I don't even know how she got that pass through. But you know what? That Caitlin Clark-Aaliyah Boston connection is there. And look, who knows what to do when Caitlin Clark draws defensive attention more than Aaliyah Boston. Aaliyah Boston knows. She goes right to the paint. Easy basket, easy play, ridiculous pass, man. Now check out this next play. Off the rebound, Caitlin Clark pushes the pace, and you can see what team wants it more. Caitlin Clark is pushing the pace, and good things happen when you push the pace. They're playing with more speed collectively as a team. Caitlin Clark finds the open player. It's really just simple. Run the floor, and you will win. If you play faster and you make more shots than the other team, you'll win the game. But I guarantee you'll probably make more shots if you run faster than the other team because you'll have more possessions and more opportunities to make shots. That's just kind of how basketball works. So I like to see Team W pushing the pace. I like to see any team pushing the pace, and that is why Team W won this game. I made a video on it. They won because they played with more effort. They played quicker than Team USA. And yeah, on to the next play. Check out this next play. Caitlin Clark comes off a screen. Two defenders go with her. And look, her teammates are able to capitalize on the opportunities that Caitlin Clark is giving because of how good they are. These players are getting great looks because of the defensive attention that Caitlin Clark is drawing. Look, she could have shot a mid-range shot there, which would have been way more open than the layup that she elects to shoot. Either way, they're getting good looks, and these are the opportunities that you're always going to get if you play with Caitlin Clark. These players are just able to capitalize on the opportunities because of their skill level. Look, I think this should be a call to the front office, the Indiana Fever front office, to be like, yo, maybe we should scout some of these all-star players, these players of higher skill level, especially rollers. Like, you want a big man to go alongside Caitlin Clark, who's not Aaliyah Boston. Aaliyah Boston is slower. You want to keep Aaliyah Boston, but you want maybe a 4 or a 3, a taller player who knows how to roll, who's physical, and can go right to the basket off these Caitlin Clark passes where Caitlin Clark draws defensive attention. You can just fill in the hole that the defense is giving. I like this play, and I just think this is something that the front office should be looking at. Good things happen when Caitlin Clark pushes the pace in transition, and look, the defense is always going to overreact on everything she does. Off that handoff, Alicia Gray is just given an opportunity and she capitalizes. This is something that you'll see literally every single game for the Indiana Fever. Look, these players are just at the skill level to where they can capitalize on the opportunities. Big time shot for Alicia Gray, and man, some of these players have to be scouted. I mean, at least I'm scouting. Now, ain't this a familiar play? Look, Caitlin Clark gets doubled and she hits a pocket pass to who? Aaliyah Boston. Big time mid-range shot. I've made a couple videos in my last 5 videos talking about how Aaliyah Boston is at her best when she's shooting mid-range shots. Look, defenses are going to give her that shot, and if she's just sinking it in the way she has been as of recently, man, she's really going to be great. I made a video talking about Aaliyah Boston being all-time great one day. Y'all should go check out that video because, man, she actually could be if she keeps playing with Caitlin Clark. She knows what to do, and she knows how to capitalize on these opportunities. Now, check out this next play. Caitlin Clark is pushing the pace. She's getting up the court, and this isn't even gravity that she's drawing. This is just a ridiculous shot by Arike Ogunbowale. Look, this is, I don't even know what to say. She was cooking throughout the whole game. She was the All-Star Game MVP for a reason. Man, I know she's been inefficient this year, man, but Arike is ridiculous. When it comes to one-on-one playing, I think she's the best in this league by far. The things she's doing on the court, bro, I haven't seen a lot of NBA players do it. These are Luka-type shots that she's hitting. Ridiculous basketball. And look, Caitlin Clark doesn't even have to do anything. She just passes the ball here, and Arike is able to capitalize. Now, check out this next play. Look what happens. Caitlin Clark draws 2 defenders off a pick and roll. This is literally always going to happen off a pick and roll with Caitlin Clark. Nneka Ogwumike cuts, easy, wide open, push shot, floater shot. This is what you love to see. This is not exactly what you see off a pick and roll with Caitlin Clark and Aaliyah Boston. With Aaliyah Boston, you'll see her stop and shoot maybe a mid-range shot or a 3-point shot, or you'll see her cut to the paint, but it'll take her a while. She has to set her feet and post up a little bit before Caitlin can give her the ball. It's not this quick. Look, you need to put a player like a Timmy Fagbenle around Caitlin Clark, but a player at a higher level. Timmy Fagbenle could do the job if she can get healthy because she was doing it earlier in the year. But, man, if you put a Nneka Ogwumike next to Caitlin Clark, a player like that next to Caitlin Clark, things will really open up for this whole team, this Indiana Fever team, man. I'm telling you, Caitlin Clark could average 15 assists if you just give her one player like Nneka. This would be literally what we get to see every single game, and I will be so down for it. Now, check out this next play. Caitlin Clark gets the ball up the court, and what you're going to notice is that for a split second, off this handoff, 2 defenders go with Caitlin Clark, and that gives Arike Ogunbowale just a split second of time to hit this ridiculous shot. Look, Caitlin Clark does draw defensive gravity, but this is still a ridiculous shot. Like, the defense made a little lapse. They were a little too focused on Caitlin, but that shot is just ridiculous. I don't know who's making that. I don't even think Arike Ogunbowale is making that shot. This is not what Arike does. On the year, Arike is shooting at 35% from the field. Look, she be hitting crazy shots, but she don't be hitting it at this rate like she did in the All-Star game, man. She looks ridiculous right here in this game, and this is not what Arike does on a daily basis, even though she do be cooking. And she should have been on an Olympic team. I know she passed it up because of politics, but man, she is good enough to be on that Olympic team. Check out this next play. We leave the best for last. We get to see Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese finally play on the court together. Notice how all of the defense is focused on Caitlin Clark, and Caitlin Clark is able to find Angel Reese's defender lacking down there. Brittany Griner is not focused on Angel. Easy layup by Angel Reese, but what a pass by Caitlin Clark, man. This is ridiculous what we're seeing, bro. Caitlin Clark is a historical playmaker. Caitlin Clark is a rookie, and she's already the leader in assists and assists per game. In her last game, she literally set the WNBA record for most assists in a game. Nobody's ever had 19 assists in a game before Caitlin Clark. She was the first. In my humble opinion, when people said Caitlin Clark was transcendent and historical, they were not lying. Sure, a lot of people thought that she was going to come in and average 30. That is not her game. She's a playmaker. But when it comes to playmaking, she's already on pace to be the greatest playmaker in WNBA history. Literally. When Caitlin Clark came into the W, a whole lot of people thought she was going to be the GOAT, or at least in those conversations. And look, man, I don't know if Caitlin Clark's going to be the GOAT, but she can definitely get her name up really high if she just keeps working on her game, because she could go down as the GOAT playmaker, if she just puts the work in, she reduces some of the turnovers. And when the scoring comes around, then it's going to be really hard to combat her greatness. Because right now, she's not really scoring. She's averaging 17 a game, which is spectacular for a rookie. But like right now, she's not hitting three-point shots at the rate she was hitting them in college. She's a bit inefficient, and she's not really focusing on scoring as much. If she can put on a mid-range shot, she can bulk up a little bit, get a little bit stronger. Bro, Caitlin Clark is going to be really, 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 really great. She's going to go down as a legend. She's going to be historical. I don't think she'll be the GOAT, but she could definitely reach those conversations. If Diana Taurasi is the GOAT, Caitlin Clark, if she puts in the work, could definitely get up to a certain level. Like, you know, she'll be up there somewhere. I'm not going to say she's going to be the GOAT. I'm not going to make that prediction because it will be literally so stupid to predict somebody's going to be the GOAT off of their rookie season. But she might be really great. We'll see how great she becomes, but she's definitely on pace to be the greatest playmaker of all time right now. And yeah, that's where I'm going to end this video off, man. I hope you guys enjoyed. I certainly did. I appreciate all the support you guys have given me. And if you do like this video, please like the video. And if you watch these videos all the time and you haven't subscribed yet, what are you doing? Help a brother out. Subscribe to the channel. But yeah, man, I just like watching the Indiana Fever. I really enjoy watching their style of basketball. It's fun to watch. It's like watching the Indiana Pacers. They were my favorite team throughout the whole playoffs to watch NBA side. So, man, I just like watching teams play fast. Indiana Pacers play fast. Indiana Fever play fast. This WNBA All Star Game was so enjoyable because Team WNBA played so fast. Yeah, but that's in this video. I'm rambling on. Peace out.